What is smart? Book smarts? Street smarts? IQ? EQ? Can it be tested? Taught? Bought? Now that's not smart. Or is it? Let's expand our minds, people. Smart is her. It's him. And they don't care if you judge them. They're not in pursuit of a fallback career. They're in pursuit of purpose. Smart is crafting your why. It's knowing failure is success in progress. It's picking a college that prepares you for any challenge. It's finding your calling and your place to become. So, what kind of smart are you?
Good evening, Phoenix Broncos. We are live from Kalamazoo. My name is Kristen DeVries, and when I'm not serving as your nighttime talk show host, I'm serving Western Michigan University as the Vice President of University Advancement. Now, there are more than 2,000 of you in the Phoenix area. Please keep sending us more warm weather. I appreciate that. You might have gotten home from your job at Raytheon or Vanguard or the VA. I know many of you majored in things like engineering, in finance, or in low vision studies here at Western. Whoever you are and whatever you graduated in, thank you for joining us tonight. Earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with President Edward Montgomery, and we talked a bit about what he loved on his previous trips to visit you all in Phoenix, what we are doing today at Western Michigan University to solve some of the problems that Phoenix is facing, and what's next at WMU. Here we go. Well, hello, President Montgomery. We are talking this evening to our alumni who are in Phoenix, and I know you have had the chance to visit some of our alumni in Phoenix. Tell me what was great about that trip.
So I've done a couple of trips now to Phoenix to visit alums. The very first one was a couple of years back, and got a chance to both meet with some donors, some alums individually, and we had to have an event where we brought together alums from across the region, many of whom lived quite close to others but didn't know that they were Broncos too. And so it was a great opportunity to introduce Broncos to other Broncos and to have some fellowship. We got an opportunity to visit some great restaurants owned by some of our alums, like the Hash Kitchen and others that were good food. Now, they may not want me to come back to Phoenix anytime soon because the last two times I visited, it has snowed. And so I may be perhaps the harbinger of bad weather in town, but they had to postpone spring training on the first time I was out there. So, but I love the area. I've got, my daughter lives in Tucson and my best friend lives in Cave Creek. And so if I can ever get it there when it's actually sunny all of the time, I'm sure I would love to come again.
Maybe the third time will be
Maybe
the
the
charm.
third time's the charm.
Well, one of the things I read recently is that the folks of Arizona at Medicaid are not just, of course, taking care of vaccinating the elderly, but they are even paying for transportation of the elderly. And as we know in Michigan, sometimes transportation is really the key to how communities can function. What is it that we're doing at Western Michigan University around transportation?
So Western is actually playing on two very different fronts, but related. Obviously, the issue in transportation that's capturing a lot of people's imagination these days is autonomous vehicles, the driverless car, and what's the future of that. And we have faculty members in our College of Engineering who are working with other faculty from other universities to put together a thing on autonomous vehicles and promote energy efficiency. And so we're working at that cutting edge of designing those kind of cars. But at Western, we are clearly focused about engineering, but not just the engineering aspects. We care about not only what the vehicle needs, but how it interacts with the broader society, how it interacts with people, how it interacts with pedestrians. And so transportation is both a mode of, and a method of getting vehicles and people from places to other, but it also is a critical component of our society. And so we have a different center, a Transportation Research Center, which brings together not only engineers and computer scientists, the people who you might normally think would be part of a transportation system, but also brings together psychologists, brings together people from low vision, blindness and low vision studies, brings together people from our speech and audiology department to think about what's the interaction of that transportation system we're building with the broader community around it. And that's, I think, a very unique contribution of Western, because we have those skills, we have that multidisciplinary approach to thinking about problems where we can think about both the engineering side but also the human dimension.
Recently, you mentioned bringing snow to Phoenix, and of course, our friends who are actually in Texas experienced very severe weather that created huge energy problems for their state, and it has kicked up quite a conversation in the state of Arizona because they get a lot of their energy supplies from the North Texas region, and so if Texas is in jeopardy, then Arizona can be in jeopardy. But there are ways that we can address the energy challenges that all of us have, and I know we're working on that right here at Western Michigan.
You know, one of the challenges, obviously, that this bad weather incidents brings up is how do you connect transmission to use? How do you allow energy transmission to go on or generation to go on and then bring it to people when they need it most? An intermediary step for that is often batteries. That allows you to separate, I can produce it, but if people don't need it, I store it, and then they can use it and call on it later on. And so we've got faculty members in our College of Engineering, got one of our largest grants this year to study improvements in battery technology. How can we do that kind of large-scale storage of power so that it would be possible to take wind or solar or conventionally generated power, store it, and then make it available for when people need it the most. And that's sort of that critical missing piece. We're working with consumer energy here on battery storage capacity. We have a place out at our research park where we take energy that's generated from solar panels, store it, and then have it available for the grid when it's needed later on. And so we're working on that. We expect that to be a bigger part of ongoing efforts that Western can play an important role in.
Well, those are a couple of efforts that are new in the last 4 years since you became president. What else is changing on our campus over the last few years, and what's coming next?
Well, you know, Western is always a changing environment. It's a dynamic campus, and so it's been a real pleasure to be part of that. On the physical side, for those of you who maybe haven't had a chance to visit the campus, you may remember those old Quonset huts called Elmwood Apartments. They're supposed to be temporary things that lasted 50, 60 years. Well, we've taken them down. We've also tried to upgrade some of our old traditional dormitories, Draper and Sleeslog, and we've built a new one. It's called Arcadia Flats, a 6-story building with some apartments and studios. There's one on the 6th floor that I covet myself because it has a great view of the whole city. I said I want to move in there. It's just absolutely fantastic, and it's designed not only to be a great place for our students to rest and to stay, but they're also specifically designed to have the latest technology. It's designed to have spaces for community building, to draw the student out of their apartment, to draw them out of their living arrangement so that they can interact and build community and build skills and have programming designed to supplement what's going on in the classroom. We've been changing what we're doing in the classroom, trying to add additional responsiveness, trying to add different skills for students to make sure that they have the skills they need, not just today for that first job, but what will sustain them over the course of their careers. And so we've changed our core curriculum, Western Essential Studies we call it. But we're also working with advising and career services in different kinds of ways so that students get multiple real-world experiences to supplement that in-class experience. The goal of this whole effort is to help students find what excites them, their passion, that thing that they want to get up every morning and go out and do. And that may take some discovery, and so we're trying to help facilitate that discovery process. We do a good job already. Some 94%, 93% of our students find a job within a short period of time of graduating. Most of those jobs, 90% of them are in their major. 88% of those jobs students literally love. And so we're doing a good job, but that's not good enough. We want to keep going. We want to get higher and better at that. And so we're continuing to look for ways where we can get more interactions for the students, more connectivity with their career, as well as to help them find their passion going forward.
So for parents, certainly the statistics you just stated is a great argument for sending your child to Western. But as our Phoenix alumni are out and talking to additional potential students, how would you like them to promote the university?
Well, you know, what I find is the best way is to tell them your story. And Broncos tell me again and again that an essential part of their story, the essential part of their Western experience was finding that connectivity with somebody who cared. Not only cared that I learned the material, not only cared to prepare me, but cared about me as a person. 92% of our alums said they found a faculty member who cared about them personally as part of that experience. That experience often served as a support when times were tough, sometimes a prod when you needed a little prod to go out and do things, but it was an essential part of that rethinking about who you are, rethinking what it means to be smart, building that resiliency, building that grit that helps you go through those tough times. And so we're trying to rethink how we think about careers. We're trying to build well-being, which is that grit, that tenacity, that resilience that helps you persist. And so we're doing that in different ways, but we're doing it in the ways that always have been core and central to who Western is, that human connectivity, that human special bond that makes Broncos wonderful people.
So for our wonderful people in Phoenix, any last words?
Well, I always say it's a great day to be a Bronco, and so go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Hello again, Broncos. This fall, Western Michigan University welcomed 14 new freshmen from the Phoenix area, and fortunately they're in great company, as you will soon see. Sarah, who graduated from Highland High School in Gilbert, Arizona, shares with you her story next.
My name is Sarah Shirley. I'm a senior here at Western. I'm studying nursing, and I'm also minoring in chemistry and biology. I'm from Queen Creek, Arizona. It's about 40 minutes outside of the city of Phoenix, and I went to Highland High School in Gilbert. It was a really big school, about 3,000 students, a lot of student involvement. I didn't do a lot with my specific high school, but I was involved in athletics in the community. So I went to gold medal gymnastics, which was in Chandler, Arizona. So I'd go to school in the morning, and then I'd go to practice in the afternoon. The city specifically that I'm from, it's a little bit smaller. It's more of a rural town. It's growing, rapidly growing. I would say it's known for that. Like, it's expanding pretty fast. It's very flat and sandy, deserty out in Arizona, and here there's trees and greenery, and it's very beautiful. There's the lakes that I've gotten to go see, and just a change in environment overall. So I had a teammate. She was on the gymnastics team at Western, and she reached out to me and was like, hey, our coach is really interested in you, and she saw your videos. And so I shot her an email and just started looking into the school, seeing if they had what I wanted to study, and just really looking at all those different aspects. And I got in touch with Penny Jernigan, who's the head coach here at Western, and she was interested. We scheduled a visit, and the rest was history. I am very close with my parents, so it was a really big adjustment moving away from home, 1,500 miles. But it was a really exciting decision, and one that I definitely wanted to make, and kind of just to grow and see different things. I had never seen snow before, so coming to Michigan was definitely a big change, but Western felt like home, so it was a comfortable change. As soon as I stepped foot onto Western's campus, it felt right. I felt very at home. Everyone made me feel very welcome, both in the athletic community and as well as just in the academic side of Western, and all the tours I was given, and it just felt right. It felt like the place where I was meant to be. I'm very involved at Western, so I'm on the gymnastics team, and that takes up a lot of my time. And I'm also in the nursing program, and I am the secretary of the student council as well through that. So I do that, and then I'm also on SAC through athletics, so the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and I'm also on the diversity task force in athletics, so kind of dabble in everything, have a lot of fun doing it. The Bronson School of Nursing has been incredible. I've had awesome professors who want us to be great health care professionals, and they're always willing to meet with you, help you out, and I'm just really thankful to have that support here being so far from home. I hang out with my teammates a lot. I guess that's my most social thing, but I like driving through downtown and going through all my clinicals and everything. I've really gotten to know the area, but we actually like to go to South Haven a lot, so not necessarily in town, but it's really beautiful up there. We like to go watch the sunset. After I graduate, I want to work a little bit as a nurse, and then I want to go to med school and become a surgeon. And I really hope to maybe come back to Kalamazoo one day, and I definitely want to apply at Western's med school. I'm super thankful for my whole family for supporting such a big move for me. It was hard on everyone for me to move so far from home, but my parents came to visit a lot. They came to all the parent weekends and to all of our competitions, and I'm just really grateful to have such an incredible family behind me. Coming to Western was the best thing that I could have done. It helped me grow as a person and just see different things. And you know, when something feels right, like coming here for me felt right, like do it. I would just say that I'm very grateful for everything that Western has done for me throughout these past 4 years. It's been an incredible journey, and I love the school, and I know the alumni are very involved, and there's a lot of involvement of the alumni in athletics as well, so just thank you for that. There's a lot of like donations and different events that they hold, and it really, the students like know, and the students really appreciate that, and Western's a really, really great school.
Welcome back. This Saturday, Western Michigan University is actually hosting the 2021 MAC Championships in Gymnastics. So if you would like to see Sarah one more time, you can watch her on ESPN3 at 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, March 20th. Not only are we focused on the success of great students like Sarah, we're also focused on the success of all of you as alumni. And for our next Sarah Husain is going to speak with you. She is the president of the WMU Alumni Association, who lives now in Kalamazoo, but has lived at quite a distance from campus. So she's very experienced at staying connected with the university, with her fellow alumni, and with other students. Sarah?
Greetings from Kalamazoo, fellow Broncos. I'm Sarah Husain, president of the WMU Alumni Association. Thank you for welcoming me into your home tonight. I was born and raised in Kalamazoo, so this is my home. During high school, I took a campus tour of Western and fell in love with all that the school had to offer. As a business student, I had the opportunity to do an internship at Stryker Corporation at their Kalamazoo headquarters. After I graduated, that internship led to a full-time role at Stryker and eventually a job at Apple in San Jose, California. After spending the last 7 years in the Bay Area, I just moved back to Kalamazoo last year with my husband and daughter for a new role I took at Stryker. Whether here or on the West Coast, Western has always had a special place in my heart. Like many of you, WMU is where I studied and launched my career. It is the place where I learned the ins and outs of the classroom, and it's also the place where I developed lifelong friendships. It was these friendships with my fellow Broncos that have kept me connected to Western all these years later. As an alumni ambassador, I love sending postcards to the incoming freshman class each year, welcoming them to campus. I also have had the pleasure to be a guest judge for the WMU Medallion Scholarship Competition. And by staying connected to Western, I have the privilege of mentoring several students and young alumni, which has been an amazingly rewarding experience watching students develop into the next generation's future leaders. As alumni, we are part of a community of over 250,000 Broncos who call WMU their alma mater. Together, we are the WMU Alumni Association. A year ago, the association conducted a survey of our members. We have used the results of this survey to develop and offer new ways for our alumni to stay connected. First, many of you are participating in the WMU Alumni Book Club. Together, we are reading and discussing our 5th book using our specially developed online platform. Second, this past year, we launched the Campus Chat series. These Zoom meetings reunite alumni with some of their favorite campus faculty and staff for a casual conversation. Our next Campus Chat is March 24th, featuring Mark DeLore, the former Director of Financial Aid. We've also scheduled a chat on April 15th with Diane Anderson, Vice President of our Student Affairs. For over 2 decades, Diane has been a champion for students, working tirelessly to ensure that each student at WMU has a chance to succeed. We're excited to have an informal conversation with both Mark and Diane in the coming weeks, and we look forward to your participation. Third, we plan to launch an oral history project to collect and preserve your Bronco story. Be on the lookout for more information for this project in the coming months. And finally, we are looking forward to our first ever WMU Alumni Spirit Week in April. Please mark your calendars and join us for a jam-packed week full of fun Bronco events starting on April 11th. During the Alumni Spirit Week, we will debut this year's Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. We will also host several virtual reunion gatherings, and we will raise funds for student scholarships during WMU's Giving Day. For more information about our Alumni Spirit Week and all the other incredible networking opportunities and events our Alumni Association has to offer, please visit our website, wmualumni.org. That's wmualumni.org. So, my fellow Broncos, I want to thank you for your dedication to Western. As members of the WMU Alumni Association, you are part of a global network of Broncos who are connected through our shared experiences as WMU students. Even if you haven't stayed involved in the past, I want you to know that the WMU Alumni Association is here for you to connect to Western and to the rest of your Bronco family. You are important to us, and we really hope you'll stay in touch. Have a wonderful night, and don't forget, it's always a great day to be a Bronco.
We can't have a nighttime talk show without bringing you a musical performance. So now, from the world-renowned College of Fine Arts come McKenna Plath and Kevin O'Neill performing Yours, Yours, Yours from the musical 1776, proving to all of us that despite a global pandemic, the show must go on.
In a cloister, solitary, celibate, I hate it. And you, John?
I live like a monk in an abbey, ditto, ditto, I hate it.
Write to me with sentimental effusion. Let me revel in romantic illusion.
Do you still smell of vanilla and spring air? And is my favorite lover's pillow still firm and fair?
What was there, John? Still is there, John? Come soon as you can to my cloister. I've forgotten the feel of your hand.
Soon, madam, we shall walk in Cupid's grove together. We'll fondly survey that promised land. Till then, I am as I ever was and ever shall be. Yours, 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 yours.
Thank you for joining us this evening. It's been so nice to be with you in Phoenix. If you enjoyed our program, or if there's more information you'd like, or if you have some feedback as to how we can improve, I would love to hear from you. Please send me an email at kristen.devries@wmich.edu. You can always log on to wmualumni.org. While you're composing that email to me, I would love to leave you this evening with a performance from our School of Music faculty. Here's the Western Jazz Collective featuring Kevin Jones on percussion. Thank you and good night.
What is smart? Book smarts? Street smarts? IQ? EQ? Can it be tested? Taught? Bought? Now that's not smart. Or is it? Let's expand our minds, people. Smart is her. It's him. And they don't care if you judge them. They're not in pursuit of a fallback career. They're in pursuit of purpose. Smart is crafting your why. It's knowing failure is success in progress. It's picking a college that prepares you for any challenge. It's finding your calling and your place to become. So, what kind of smart are you?